Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So today we are going to be doing my very late, very late April wrap up. What did I read in April? How do I feel about it? We're going to get into all of that right now. I guess the first thing I want to start by saying though is I really actually had a good month of reading in April. It didn't really feel like it, but I was also in the process of finishing up my master's degree, because May also really didn't feel like a good reading month for me, even though in hindsight they both were. So we're going to go ahead and get into April. So the first thing I read is one of my absolute favorite stories of all time, and it is Matilda by Roald. And I had never read the story before, and I have to say, I think this is one of those rare incidents where the movie turns out to be better than the book. I'm so glad I read the book, and I did enjoy the book, but I did enjoy the movie a little bit more. But what I love, I think, the most about this is that I feel like the way they adapted the movie of Matilda was just so complimentary to the book, and I feel like it just gave life in a different way to this book. And there were some key changes, but I don't think it took anything away from this story. Like I said, I did enjoy this story, and really reading the book for the first time. I'd never read the book before, and so I did enjoy it. I think I might have gave it 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. One of my absolute favorite stories of all time, period. So I really did enjoy that. Okay, so before we go on to the next book, my camera battery is actually dying. Such terrible timing. So I'm gonna change that and I'll be back. Hey guys, I'm back. So if you saw in that last clip, clearly I'm dressed different and stuff. It's another day. I'm not even gonna tell you how much time has passed between that clip and this one, but we're just going to, oh, I'm sorry for the traffic. We're just gonna go ahead and keep going with my April wrap up. So I just talked about Matilda, and we're gonna move right on. The next book that I read in April is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Huge. I really enjoyed this book. The one thing I will say, out of all of the books, I feel like this book was very disjointed in my reading. Like I said, April was just intense for me. And so this book, I think I actually even started in March. So it's like a month and a half of trying to read this book, and it was just so disjointed that I feel like it affected my enjoyment of the book. I still love the book, but I think my favorite is still Prisoner of Azkaban as of right now. I think Prisoner of Azkaban is still holding its spot as my favorite so far. I did enjoy this book. I thought there was quite a bit of action in this book, and it's just the same writing style that I've come to love. The books just really pull you in. I can't say a ton about this book because I don't want to spoil anybody, but just know that I'm still enjoying the Harry Potter series a lot. And for those of you who do like my discussion videos, a discussion video will be coming. I don't know if it's going to come before or after this video, but I will make sure, if it is before this video, that it's linked down in the description box, where we get to talk about this book and you guys can give me your thoughts as well. So that is next up. And then the third book that I read is The Perfect Blend by Trish Perry. Now I'm gonna be quite upfront and say that I bought this book. Yeah, it sounded good, but this was a cover buy for me. I mean, is that cover not beautiful? Like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. I loved it. And I was just like, it just looks so ideal. Like, yes, I would like to go there and have tea. What I didn't know when I bought this is that this is a series. Should have tipped me off, you know, when it said tea shop series. Like I said, I didn't pay attention to that. I was just paying attention to the picture down here. I don't know where I stand with this. It was okay. I feel like I roll my eyes a lot at this book, which I typically don't do at romance, but I roll my eyes a lot at this book. I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't what I expected. I really thought, listening to it, that it was going to be better. So basically this is about a girl named Steph, and she has left everything she knows to elope with the guy of her dreams. And then, you know, she gets stood up basically in a whole strange new town and everything. And so I thought, that sounds fantastic. For me, I feel like this book needed way more time to develop and go through all that she went through. And then, you know, there's like the introduction of a new guy, and for me, I was just like, how long has it been? I don't know. I just felt like, yes, it's a romance novel, and I know those typically just get straight to the point, but I just wanted more from this book. I just wanted more development. I wanted more time. I really wanted to really see her process and get to that other place on the other side, and I just feel like I didn't get that. And so the fact that I rolled my eyes a lot at this, and I was just kind of like, But one thing I will say that I did enjoy, I haven't really read a ton of romance novels where they kind of have a faith-based aspect. I know that's not for everybody. For me, it does not bother me, but I know that that's not for everybody. So if you don't like faith-based books, you know, I would not recommend this. But if you don't mind that, then, you know, this book was okay. Honestly, it was a little bit of a disappointment for me, so I don't know if I'm going to even continue with the series. So I read that. And then the next book, this book is probably the best book that I've read this year. This is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I am going to be doing a review on that book. Like I said, I don't know. I'm filming quite a few videos, so I don't know which will be coming first, but I will be doing a review on this book. A non-spoiler, yes, a non-spoiler review on this book. So I'm not going to talk a lot about it. Know that I thought this book was so powerful, but it's also very, very well written. The writing is amazing. The characters feel so real, and I felt this story in so many different ways, and I loved it so much. I would highly recommend it to anybody. If you don't know what The Hate You Give is about, this book is based around the Black Lives Matter movement. And so we meet Star, a 16-year-old girl who witnesses her childhood best friend Khalil being shot and killed by the police, and he was unarmed. And the story kind of unfolds from there, and Star is kind of the only person who really knows what took place that night, and so she's kind of thrust into this whole world of what happened with Khalil and the news and all of that other stuff. And this explores so much, and so I will be doing a review on that, so just look out for that. And then the final book that I read is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, and I loved this book. Like, I absolutely loved it. And now I feel like I'm going to be a little contradictory with what I'm about to say right now, because this book, you know, is about two characters, Daniel and Natasha, and this book takes place over the course of 24 hours. Keep that in mind. And they're both young. I think they are just finishing high school, I think, or about to, yeah, I think they're just finishing high school. And so they're young, and this takes place over the course of 24 hours, and it is a love story, but it's so much more, and I just loved it. I knew about 5 pages in, I was just like, I love this. Just the characters, the way the story was written, the actual plot, everything about it. And this book also has some really strong elements as well. It does deal with immigration and stuff like that, and this was one of my best reads of the year. I really loved it. And the crazy thing is, I think I said this at the beginning of the video, is that I felt like I didn't really have a good reading month in April, when in actuality, I mean, I really loved this book. I really enjoyed that book. I really enjoyed this book. Really enjoyed this book. You know, I mean, it wasn't as good as the movie for me, but I really enjoyed it. This was the only book that it was okay, you know, but if I'm going to be honest, it did kind of let me down a little bit, because I felt like this book, I wanted more. Like, if this whole storyline that she jammed into this would have been spread out over, maybe this could have been a great duology. Honestly, I think this would have made an amazing duology. So it has me a little interested to see what happens in the second book, but I don't know that I would enjoy it. So I'm torn. If you've read it, let me know what you think. But so when I, you know, was like, oh, I didn't have a great reading month, really I did, but I think it was everything else that was going on in my life and finishing up school that really kind of took away from how I felt overall about the month. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So actually, I didn't have a bad reading month, but I didn't enjoy my reading the way I would, because I was kind of all over the place. So I hope you guys had a good reading month in April. I know it's in June when I'm filming this. We will do better. Know that my May wrap up is actually going to be coming out on time. I didn't realize that this wrap up was not out. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to go ahead and film the May wrap up, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Thanks for watching. Bye.